Wow, it's practice, isn't it? Okay. I get to just read the
Just
script.
a couple months from now, right?
This is your audition.
You guys have been here before. Okay. Call the order, 6:01, gender, hi gender.
Hey, Trustee Kyle, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good,
I won't
good.
be nervous, dressed up, but, okay, so we're gonna call to order. And I invite Ginger to call out the roll.
All
Please.
right.
Thank you.
Trustee Ando is absent. Trustee Cortez.
I last here.
Trustee Lee is absent. Trustee Vada.
Present.
Vice Chair Kyle.
At present. Okay, I'll invite Ginger to explain how the public can participate in this evening's agenda.
Thank you, Vice Chair Kyle. This meeting will be held in person and is being recorded and streamed live to Zoom at the link on the agenda. You may participate in person, provide public comment. Each speaker will have 2 minutes. You may also submit your comments by email by 4 p.m. on the day of the meeting. We are offering closed captioning for this evening's meeting on Zoom. Select the live transcript button on Zoom to enable this feature.
Thank you. Okay, for the minutes, can we have someone approve regular meeting minutes of September 9th?
Oh,
Motion to approve the meeting minutes from September 9th.
I'll second.
Thank you. Great. All right, so we're gonna call the agenda item. Any questions? Let's see, from the trustees to the staff, or should we just call the minutes? I mean, I guess, no, I'm
Once you
open time
call-
for public.
Well,
Question?
once you call for the motion and it's moved and seconded, you can just go straight to a roll call.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But you can call it first.
Okay. So then, Vice Chair invites questions and answers from trustees to staff. Opens for public comment, in-person attendees, and reminds, but there's no in-person. Is there any public comment from from any of the trustees? No public comment, okay. So request a motion and a second to approve the minutes.
So,
Is that,
yes, I motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of September 9th.
I'll second.
okay, thank you. Okay, Vice Chair, invites Ginger to roll call the vote. Thank you.
All right. Trustee Cortez.
Aye.
Trustee Vada.
Aye.
Vice Chair Kyle.
Aye.
Thank you.
So at this point, we don't have any public here, so correct, and there's nobody online. So I think we can pass over the open, correct, Ginger? Okay, so open time for public expression. I think we can skip that. Nobody. Special presentations. Okay, September Love Your Library campaign by Shani Boyd. You're on.
That is me.
All right.
Let me screen share gender.
Want my sticker, and you know how useful this is because everything's black, and so now that I have this, I'm always like, oh yeah, find my phone.
That's got
There.
And
Does it
Arm
work
magnet.
with this magnetic thing, the sticker on it? Is it gonna?
Oh,
Because you
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Like your Apple
Charger.
Pay.
well, no, the magnetic, like, to attach to a charger. I gotta imagine it wouldn't. I'll send a bill to the library.
Okay, so last month we presented the Love Your Library campaign. So this officially rolled out in September. And this covers the outreach we did this month, including this campaign. So this month we attended the senior fair and served 300 patrons there. We had a table, and at the time we had minimal swag, so it was like stickers. And yeah, I think it was just the stickers at that point. And we also did Seeds of Hope at B Street, the community center right there. And how many people did we serve? 84 people.
Yeah.
Where was the senior fair?
Civic Center,
Oh, okay.
county grounds or the fairgrounds. Yeah. So like we spoke about earlier, we went to Porch Fest and there were 313 people who stopped by our table. We had more swag at that event. And that top photo is our tattoos. And so people actually, I was very confused what was happening because I was doing the button maker, but somebody like poured water and put the tattoo on right there at the table. And then they took that cute picture, but I was very confused because I just saw water being dumped on the ground. What's happening? So yeah, it was myself and Miguel. And then we also had some of our older tote bags that we were giving away. And we also participated with the rec for their movies in the park. So for the ribbon cutting at Peacock Park, there were
Guys really got around.
150 people at that event. And then the one pictured here is at, what is that park? Bristol. Thank you. Bristol Park with 180 people in attendance. Yeah, so the movies in the park have been going very well so far. And they just had the pickleweed one last week.
Good job. Wow.
Pickleweed one was combined with another ribbon cutting.
No.
Yeah.
Lots of ribbon cuttings.
Yeah, and there, I mean, that's an October thing, so I didn't include it.
Yeah.
But then for the grand celebration, we had our meet and greet with our dog Lucy for our Read to the Dog program.
Aw.
We didn't actually do the Read to the Dog, this was just a meeting. And so there you see Lucy. We had a drum event, which was for all ages. And for that, we had drumming, 112 people.
Wow.
And it was out on the lawn. So that was how we were able to manage that capacity. This is everyone rushing in because we put the table right at the door. Have you ever seen a line going into the line?
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
No, we're into less
Like
than
2
that.
hours.
Yeah. It
It was
was-
nuts.
The line itself probably drew people in because they're like, there's a line, so we just joined the line,
Everyone's gonna get their swag. Those tote bags are awesome.
right?
Shawnee saw him at Porch Fest.
Yeah.
People
Oh,
had
nice.
brought them.
Wild.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, they were definitely showing it off, and I was like, that's not the tote bag we have today. You're very lucky.
The pretty cool thing about that, just to add to that, is that for like the last hour or so, people came exclusively to get the tote bag because they saw it out or people were posting it or
Awesome.
friends were telling them, so they came
Really?
for
They
the
still had to
tote.
spin the wheel. It was
So
still a
we
game
felt
changer.
what Trader Joe's feels.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
exclusive.
It's free.
Release the
You
new
gonna do a mini
color.
bag?
That's the one we
have.
Grand Celebration was a mini bag.
I didn't get any. I was just
How
like,
many
I
have
didn't
we
get.
done?
We have the mini bag tote.
Oh.
Which one?
I don't know. I was like, I want all my stuff. No.
You had 30 minutes.
Which one had the coyote on it?
The mini,
The
the
mini
mini.
tote,
bag.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was the grand celebration tote, which had like the image, the kind of
Other Carney.
artistic image of the Carnegie.
Nice.
And then there's the Love Your Library tote, which the grand opening tote, those are all those went the day of. We have more of the Love Your
Mhm.
Library. It's a little bit higher quality bag than you normally see giving away.
So then we had the pinata craft, which went for the entire party, and we had 84 people stop into the program room throughout the day, not at once. That capacity is like 30. And then we had henna, we had a
And
henna
that's without a
artist
table.
come.
30 without a table.
Yeah, and the henna artist was able to do 21 people, and then the face painter did children and was able to do 43 people.
Wow. Well, the henna really took time. I mean,
She
did
was
a nice
quick. She was
job.
doing it in like 5 minutes.
Really?
Like you can't really see how well it is here, but she like does like the traditional bridal. So like, you know, it's the full body. So she's used to like doing big pieces quickly. So we're just doing like hands. She's just like boom. And she was freehanding it and was just like, oh, you don't know what you want? Okay. Yeah. And
The
we
face painter was good too. She took requests. And
Yeah.
my daughter was one of the face painter and she was just like,
Oh, really?
yeah, there was like a dinosaur, like she would just do anything the kid asked. It was pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
which is not the norm, because
No.
usually they have like
Yeah.
selected, you have to pick.
Yeah, and it was amazing. She was able to do 43 kids.
That was fast too. That
And
was
like
fast.
you can see, it's like full like nose to forehead, like it wasn't just a
Oh,
little
yeah,
moon
there,
on the
there.
side.
Oh,
like-
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She did,
Yeah.
everyone that you guys got was amazing.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, it was really good quality. We were happy to have her. She's kind of hard to book now. And yeah, so that is our bigger Love Your Library stuff that we've done this month.
Huge.
Yeah, we've done
Oh my
little
goodness.
things, but like these were the bigger events.
And our gate count registered 1,300 people for the
Sweet.
park celebration.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's busy. What's your average? Just curious.
On a regular
Yeah,
just
regular
day
Wednesday.
of probably around 300.
That's good.
Okay.
Saturdays are a little busier.
Uh-huh.
Sunday's a little slower.
Sundays a little slower.
Wow, wow, you felt really busy. Huh.
Thank you,
Nice.
Ginger.
Thank you for that. And what about the pickleweed library
You got-
service?
So you gotta,
Oh, do I have to,
Got it.
Sorry.
Right now.
oh, okay, any,
Oh, we replaced the mic. We got like a full Bluetooth mic and speaker now.
Oh,
That will
okay.
not happen again.
We were like sitting next to each other, like, do you hear anything?
Oh, yeah, I know, couldn't hear.
Okay.
Couldn't hear.
We couldn't hear the like the mayor,
Oh, the-
any of the speakers. Yeah.
it's fine.
You knew, but I was just saying like, in case you didn't know that it was me.
Yeah,
so
so
good,
we
yeah.
got that feedback and I was like, yeah, no, we're.
Oh, that's
we've
true. I'm
got
sure
it.
people gave you plenty of feedback.
And
They're mostly
it's
positive.
great at pickleweed.
Yeah, that speaker gets really loud.
Mhm.
Oh, sweet.
oh, thank you for that, Shani. Any questions from the trustees to the staff regarding the presentation?
I don't have any questions. I'll just say, for all you guys, amazing job. I mean, I know how hard and full that must have been.
We've
So.
got- This is the active part of the presentation.
Interactive.
Those are car magnets.
Hard.
Ah,
Okay.
Perfect.
Ooh,
Yeah, I got a
Get
second.
the word out and about.
There's enough for all your cars.
All of our cars, one per car is what you're saying? Per car.
Wonderful.
So
But
those are individual ones, the magnets.
Yeah.
They're all like,
I think I had one, didn't
I
I?
think,
Oh, there's a bunch in there.
Yeah.
you want any more minutes?
Yeah, but Alma. Okay, so.
Love your library. Love and Spanish. You want a magnet?
Oh.
Magnet, stitcher.
Sorry.
You can take it all.
Oh.
Yeah, but guys, really good job. I mean, I know how crazy that must have been.
Yeah,
Huh,
Thank you.
So.
Shawnee,
Congrats.
you don't have to do another opening until they build a new one.
I don't think we'll be. Just wait.
Okay.
Good foreshadowing. There, at least.
Okay, are we ready to move on to the special presentation
Yes.
by Daniel, Pickleweed Library Service Plan during closure?
so
Alrighty.
I've kind of mentioned throughout meetings kind of where we were in the progress or in the preparation for closing Pickleweed. But now that we're closed, there's we've got a little bit more information on what we're doing, dates or our schedules for our ongoing program are all established. So our last day of service was September 27th.
Hmm.
Then that Monday, the 29th, staff started packing up kind of just office supplies, putting everything in boxes. And we started our surplus process. So all of our surplus furniture was offered up first to our city departments, then to local organizations, staff, and then members of the public. So we've got rid of a lot of things. And then that following Friday, NorCal Movers came up, boxed up all of our collections and took it to storage, as well as some of our remaining furniture, some small items, and the equipment and furniture from the police substation as well. So all of that's being stored for us. Demolition started on October 13th. So that's that's a picture of the empty building there. Which
It
was,
was yesterday.
Yep.
It was like, wait.
yeah,
what's
just
today?
yesterday, started yesterday, but this was from October 3rd. That picture there. And it was kind of staff, like Mireya and Alejandra primarily, were kind of emotional when they were like there taking this picture, because it's been quite the journey to get to this point where they're gonna have like a more efficient redone space.
And I mean, Maria has been with the city since the 90s.
Yeah.
So she, I mean, she's been working with the city the whole time this library is.
Since it was the learning center, we've actually, we're doing a public records request.
Hmm.
So we've gotten to see a lot of pictures of the trajectory of the Picoid Library in Alboro. And Mireya's in a lot of those early pictures, and it's like pretty cool to see. So we're offering limited service from the Alboro. So it's been pretty cool to work with Christy there at Alboro. She's pretty open to having us kind of take over some of that front desk.
Christy's the new
Christy's the new-
supervisor, the recreation supervisor.
The new Steve,
If you knew
if
Steve.
you need Steve, throwing out names there. So they're lending half of that desk basically for library staff Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So staff will be there 9 to 5 and we'll be offering basic service. Staff will be able to, or the public will be able to pick up their holds. We're gonna have a couple shelves of those modular shelves that we have at the library with a curated collection. So people can still come and browse. Tiny, but we pulled together some of the most popular stuff. We'll have a few Chromebooks available, so if anyone needs to use a computer, they'll still have access to those.
Oh.
And we'll have Pickle Weed staff at those locations as well. And then it'll be, people will be able to pick up their holds as well. We've coordinated with our Sprint delivery service and other libraries to make sure that holds went to Alboro. And then Northgate's kind of serving as our sorting hub, where we'll take a look at all the Picklewood returns, discard material, and process all of our incoming stuff there. And then hopefully in the next, before the year end, we'll have the holds pickup locker installed there at Alboro, which will be self-service. People will be able to pick up their holds outside of that Tuesday through Thursday 9 to 5 kind of window.
Tuesday through Friday?
Tuesday, that's a typo. It's Tuesday through Thursday.
I know.
Yeah.
Can people still pick up at Northgate though, or no?
Yeah, they could pick up
Or
anything.
they can't? Okay, it's processing.
So one of the things we did is before closure, the notices for people that picked up holds at Pickleweed informed them of the closure, so they were able to either transfer their holds out to a different location that was more convenient or continue to pick them up at Pickleweed during those 3 days.
Great.
Some of the programs that are continuing at the community center is Math Club, Reading Buddies, Drop-In Tech Help. We'll have story times, our Books Beyond Borders book club, and we're going to continue our collaboration with Marin County Free Library. So their learning bus and their bookmobile will be doing periodic visits throughout each month. And we're working on developing once we get a sense of the flow of the public into Alboro for library services, we'll start evaluating, but we've got ideas of other programs. So there's things that we're working on developing. And most importantly, we're looking to welcome people back in the spring, summer 2026, hopefully the spring.
Our contractor seems pretty.
They seem
certain
very optimistic that it's
Not gonna,
it'll
be a straightforward project.
Who's the contractor?
Arts, ARNTZ, they've done a lot of library and community centers. We've never worked with them before. This is the first time they've gotten a bid for this city, but they have a lot of experience in this particular type of facility.
Is there like a lot of construction trucks and construction stuff? Does it look like it's kind of taken over?
So
part of
that,
the
I mean, that
parking
was a
and-
big, kind of this whole so there's 1 week of moving out, 1 week of them getting established, and that we had a lot of back and forth with them on how much staging space they were gonna take up, because everyone knows parking at that facility is a premium. So we did have to give them more parking than we had hoped, for the demo phase, because they need more, they needed to have a number of, dumpsters out there, and the ability to pick them up and replace them frequently. But once demo is done, they should be able to shrink the footprint. They are still gonna be taking up a handful of spaces out in front of the center. But we're trying to like minimize that. Yeah. And they're hopeful that demo is only gonna take 2 weeks.
Yeah, they said 2 weeks.
So I mean, demo on this one took what, 3 months,
3 months, yeah.
something? I mean, there's a lot of hazmat here, which we don't expect there, so.
Any questions from the trustees? Oh, I know there's always that big, Dia de Muertos there. Is that gonna go on down there? Okay.
Yeah, so that was one of the big things we were trying to get them shrunk, get the footprint shrunk before then, and I think they said it's gonna be tight, but their goal is to be done with demo by then, and yeah. But I mean, it will impact because we're also having to block off part of that back back deck. Because the whole back wall of the library is getting replaced with glass. So there will be work on that side, but we've also had them minimize that footprint, because there's also a back exit out of the community center that has to remain open. Yeah.
Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate that. All right. Is there no questions from anybody and from the public, because there isn't any. Other brief report or updates on meetings, conferences?
There's still one
Oh,
more.
there's one more agenda item. There's the,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Item
Here we
4.
go. Update collection development policy.
that's me. So me and Shani did a lot of work. One of the first tasks that Shani was charged with her very first week was to help update our collection development policy. So we were, as I presented before, we're in the process of updating a lot of our policies. We brought 2 to the board for approval already. So we were able to fold this one into that process as well. And part of this policy hasn't been that long since it was reviewed. It was reviewed in 2022. But due to the California Freedom to Read Act, AB 1825, there's certain requirements that bill now requires of our collection development policy that we had to update and add language for it. And the California Freedom to Read Act basically helps us ensure the freedom to read and protects us from censorship, gives us the tools to kind of make sure that our material remains diverse and available. And there's certain things from there's certain points and protections that the state wants us to have in our collection development policy. So part of the review process was bringing the language up to date, including a couple points. Shani will go through some of the key updates that we've added. But just so we drafted it. It went to like a kind of review phase with the California state to make sure that we were on the right track. And then from there, it went to legal review. So now it's up for approval here on the board. But before that, Shani's gonna go through a couple of our updates.
Yeah, so at the bottom, I kind of just gave a quick outline of the key updates. So it clarifies the final authority of the library collection rests with library management. And that's just stating that it's up to the library staff to decide what is in the collection, what is not in the collection. So in the event of a request for reconsideration, that decision is still made by the library itself, and not the requestee. And that again reflects what the state required. Adds direct links to the state and national resources for intellectual freedom. That was more, there's just resources available to see what the guidance is in the event that someone wants to understand a little bit more about challenges. And what the American Library Association requires for collections. So that's what those links are. specifies that replacements of lost or damaged material is not guaranteed. So that's more of just something that happens a lot within the collection, and especially within our community. If something goes missing, it's just saying that like we're not saying that we'll necessarily replace it. And that's just helpful for when people say, why is my favorite book not back? And it's out of print. So it just kind of just gives us a little bit more protection around those conversations. Clarifies guidelines for deselecting, which is weeding materials. And that just previously, there wasn't really any explanation of how that process works. So now that it's outlined. Okay. Establishes a process for managing gifts and donations. Previously, that wasn't included in the collection development policy, and this is just guidelines for anyone who wants to donate materials, how that works. They now understand that. Donations, and again, that's also self-published, or no, sorry, the next one talks about that. Establishes guidelines for material submissions by local authors and self-published creators. There's a lot of self-published authors in Marin, and so it's just a little bit of clear guidance on what our capacity is to take on that material and what that review process looks like. Again, that previously wasn't in the collection development policy, so that kind of just helps people understand what's happening. Updates the request for reconsideration process to require submissions from only City of San Rafael residents, sets limits on the number of requests per year, and allows a single title to be reconsidered once every 2 years, and expands the form to include additional questions detailing specific concerns and suggests alternative materials. So that's just on this. You'll actually see the form itself. And yeah, so on the final 2 pages within your packets, that's the actual request for reconsideration form. And it was just so that we're not taking on what other libraries have experienced with book challenges, where it's people who don't live in your service area or even in the state. So this just puts the responsibility on our own community members to question our materials and not so much people outside who we don't serve. Yeah, and also just helps the reality of what the library can take on. So those are the main ones, and then provides clear guidance for both staff and patrons regarding collection development and the review process. So it's just more drawn out and outlined, and it will be available for the public to view on the website when it's approved.
Thank you.
Yeah, and there's no fiscal impacts. If anything, it saves us time.
Any questions from the trustees?
Yeah, just out of curiosity, like one of those last points, did you guys get a lot of requests from outside San Rafael for requests for reconsideration, or do you get many requests for reconsideration?
In my
Yeah.
time, we had one person that was kind of shopping around the county. But once I gave them, they sent me an email and I said, well, here's our form, and they never submitted a form. So it's not, and then we have had one request but that was from a San Rafael resident. So.
I think that was like the women in the Middle East or something. Yeah, I remember you mentioning that. Well, I think that's great then, like getting ahead of that.
Yeah.
With the making sure they're residents. That's great.
Yeah,
That was
they
a
were
request from the
definitely,
lawyer.
oh, sorry.
That was a recommendation from the lawyer, was to add that part, and we were like, yes.
I mean, I've been to a lot of American Library Association and different workshops and webinars on this topic. And I mean, sometimes they're even recommending people have to submit handwritten forms. They have to come and pick it up. And we didn't go that far, but we felt the San Rafael resident requirement made sense for the reasons Sean outlined.
Do they have their own shelf, or the kind of self-publishing just go out on the shelf like with everything else, or?
Yeah, anything that we decide to absorb into the collection will be classified according to
It's call number.
its call number, whatever genre.
We have a local
We do have a
author.
local author
You do.
section as well.
Interesting. And then with the gifted ones, do you just, if you don't take them, you just give them to the friends or something?
Typically, just because adding them to the collection, if the ISBNs don't match, like nobody in the public wants to hear that. But like if the ISBN doesn't match, that's a whole nother record we have to pull that we don't necessarily already own. So donations are like a little hard to add into the collection unless it's like an exact match. And that's the barcode on the back of the book. So there's different editions which have different records because there might be slight changes in the book. Or they might have like literally just changed like the foreword or something, but that is a difference that gets noted in the like book record.
Because I've thought about that when I try and request something and then the book club says you gotta read it and there's like, 20, 30, 50 people on the wait list. I thought, oh, I just will buy it. And I thought, oh, I should give it to the library, but it's not that easy to, okay.
Also, I mean, technically, we don't want to accept gifts for the friends. We would prefer you just directly give them to the friends.
I thought just the library to kind of.
Yeah, no, right.
Decrease the wait list or something, but, I
It's in the
didn't know.
policy.
The policy describes that, but there's like a little bit more behind like how we decide when we add multiple copies of a book, especially since we're part of the consortium. And Marin, that really impacts like how many we put on the shelf.
Right, you can borrow it.
You were just donating too much, so they had to create this policy.
You're specific.
Oh,
Sorry, please stop, we get it.
oh, my husband's library. All right, thank you.
I have a question, sort of a overarching question. Obviously, in California, we live in a nice bubble here, but are other libraries like across the country, like they have very restrictive, I assume, and like, is that what they're saying, especially with administration? I'm just out of curiosity.
It's not
like-
just across the country. The one that's been in the news a lot is Huntington Beach.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Where it's gotten to the point where it's like the boards are involved, city council's involved.
Can you share more? I don't know this, yeah.
So the book challenges have gotten to the point where outside boards have gotten the permission to review what's in the collections.
Oh,
So their collection development left the libraries basically. And they're outside bodies that are kind of
Deciding.
dictating and deciding what's on the shelves.
And I think that's kind of, there's two things you see going on. One is public just kind of coming and, challenging materials, but then you also do see like governing boards or councils. I think this happens, we see it particularly common with school libraries, but public libraries as well.
Interesting. But
And I will say there's been an increase in this type. It's not just within the last 8 months. It has been a few years at least where I know this has been a more concern, and I've seen articles about other library agencies.
And what about the banned books? How does that impact? Is anything?
Well, the list grows. So there's a lot of titles that are added to books that you can't have in certain libraries.
Tends to be school libraries though. Book bans tend to be more justified in schools than in public libraries. Because we're by nature supposed to serve everyone, so we can't ban a book just because we don't like what's in it, but schools have a little bit more freedom to say this isn't appropriate for this age group, hence it's a risk to have it on our shelves. So you see more banned books at schools.
Interesting.
But the current administration isn't making any.
Theirs is more censorship and not so much banning books. It's kind of controlling the narrative on publishing more so.
But I don't believe there's any mechanism for the federal government to ban a book nationally.
Okay.
yet,
Yeah, I just read about banned books and.
Yeah, that's more at the local level, school or library board or, whatever local jurisdiction leadership taking those actions, not state or federal level.
Okay.
is the A for Activist book banned
It is on the list, yes.
on school list or whoever does the ban
Like
list?
that.
So I mean, ban just means that someone out there has
Some-
decided that this is a book that they have an issue with and are submitting these types of challenges or petitioning school boards or kind of saying a book is banned just means someone has asked that it be removed from,
Oh, I. got
and that, right? I
Kind of a
mean,
misnomer. It's not like some
Yeah.
government list out there that says don't have these,
That's
30
what I
minutes.
no, and when you see the banned book list, the ALA, they collect and consolidate information on these challenges that libraries receive. And that is kind of what makes the, top 10 most banned books are based on that, kind of that conglomeration of information versus, some sort of national,
Okay.
like national action.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
All right, good. Any other questions? All right, there's no other questions. Thank you. Wow, okay.
I think that,
Yeah, so
Right.
this one we are asking for your formal approval of the
Alright.
policy.
So I'll
So,
move to approve the updated policy.
One second.
and it's okay.
Gender roll call.
Roll call.
A roll call, gender? Thank
All
you.
right, trustee Cortez,
Aye.
trustee Vedot,
Aye.
vice chair Kyle.
Aye.
Thank you.
Any other reports from you, Catherine, Silas,
Yeah, so we've got just the staff
liaison report?
liaison reports.
Okay.
And it's just kind of different updates. I think one of the things that's kind of I don't know if trending is the right word, but it's an issue for a large segment of our public libraries is the Baker and Taylor, which is a huge book provider vendor for our libraries, is winding down operations.
Hmm.
So they were, what was it, 3 weeks ago? They were in negotiations to be acquired by a larger company, which we were excited about because that company has a very robust distribution system. That fell through. So they're winding down operations. So they most likely will be out of business by January, which is huge. It's causing a lot of libraries to look at other vendors. Other vendors aren't as large as Baker and Taylor. So the issue that libraries are seeing is the capacity for these other vendors to absorb all this other business. The impact is in availability of titles. A lot of orders are being canceled. A lot of standing orders are not being fulfilled, and basically only in-stock items are available through Baker and Taylor, which is basically a way for them to clear out their warehouses. The sad part is hundreds of people have been laid off. Our rep was just locked out of their account after 40 years. So and the trouble is we're piecing together a plan. Luckily, we have accounts with two of the next most prominent vendors, Ingram and Brodart. So we're setting up accounts and trying to get our orders or a system of ordering that will see the least amount of impact to the public.
Like what percent, I mean, our 80-90% of our orders typically went through Baker and Taylor.
Right.
This is a bit, and that's fairly common.
It's very common. There's other library systems that go through the RFP process for a vendor. So they were basically locked into Baker and Taylor as their sole vendor. But there's our NorthNet library system is looking at ways, or they're kind of looking at vendors and providing suggestions for libraries on how to proceed. The California State Library is also providing guidance. There's a network call this week for libraries to join to get some advice, suggestion from what other libraries are doing. We've been reaching out to our connections. Luckily, I have a brother that works in acquisitions for Open Public, so a lot of what is happening now is just a plug for him because he forecasted it a while ago, led us to a lot of the steps that we've been able to take advantage of right now. Before the announcements. And so, yeah. That's kind of an update about the just collection development and how we're navigating it. My plan is to talk to some vendors at the California Library Association next week, which I'll be attending, as well as the VAGI. The theme for the California Library Association is telling our own story. So a lot of the presentations and the sessions will be focusing on that, which is something that the VAGI helps us a lot with in her promotion. She works with Duncan a lot to create content for our Instagram, for our newsletters. It's her first conference, so she'll be able to experience a lot of what that's about, getting a lot of information, networking. But also for us, it's looking at what vendors are doing and how they're adjusting. To a lot of vendors are now exploring pre-processing, which is a big deal for our workflow, to get items pre-processed, ready to go on the shelf. But some of the vendors were specialized in just children's fiction or just teen, and now they're being kind of forced to expand into all genres because the market is calling for it.
Wow.
So the goal is to kind of talk to some of those vendors and get an idea of who's offering what kind of services are going to be out there. And that's kind of just like a general announcement of what's happening now. Downtown, it's going well. No leaks as of today. As of this evening, I was joking with Catherine that part of my routine is a walk through in the morning of the building. So it's going well today. People are visiting or just overheard our children's services staff talk about how their picture book collections and their shelves are looking emptier. So that's good, a good signal for traffic. So we definitely expect traffic to pick up as word gets around that we're open and our collections are back, which is a good sign.
Also, San Anselmo is closed for a while for renovations, and Marinette or MCFL is doing refreshes of all their
libraries.
branches, so they're variously closing throughout the year. So I think, especially when Civic Center closes, and people will see more traffic like they saw when we were closed.
Yeah. Payback.
Gotcha.
For Pickleweed, it just presented on kind of what our service is looking at. But one of the things we've been working on, or that's been in the process too, is our mural for the children's room, the new children's room. The mural design went to the Pickleweed Advisory Committee earlier this month. Yeah, earlier this month. And we received, it was approved by them to move on to the Public Art Review Board, it'll go up to the review board tomorrow. And if they approve it, then it'll go to City Council. And I believe I showed the mural here last meeting.
Yeah, pretty.
Northgate is it's going as usual. Alejandra is now in charge of Northgate. She's in charge of branches, so she's in charge of both Pickleweed and Northgate. So Pickleweed staff is that's Alejandra's home base while Pickleweed's closed. So a lot of our collection processing is happening through Northgate. Pickleweed staff's working at both of those locations. So I'm already hearing things of like, I'm moving this or I'm readjusting this. So it'll get kind of a refresh of its own by just new eyes. Measure P, City Council on October 6th approved the city manager to sign a contract with Griffin Structures to be our project managers for the duration of the project. So they'll be in charge of helping us select a design team, the community engagement phase, and through pre and post construction as well. One of the facets that's part of the process is, and we'll come back in November to this group, is to select this group will select a representative to be part of the community stakeholder group, which is going to be composed of 7 stakeholder groups for the community. It's this board, the Friends of the Library, the Golden Era Senior Citizens Organization, Park and Rec Commission, the San Rafael Chamber of Commerce, the Foundation, the Library Foundation, and San Rafael City Schools. So one member of each of those will be part of.
And that's just gonna be one facet of the kind of broader community engagement plan. The idea is that group will meet at specific times to provide kind of a consistent community voice. Those are also groups that have a large investment in the project. I kind of saw your face, the Golden Heirs are a senior citizens organization that's based at the community center right now. They operate out of there, they have a dedicated room there, and they provide all older adult programming at the facility. And then obviously the, library support groups are large, and San Rafael City Schools and the chamber kind of represent broad groups that we really want to make sure we're serving with this facility.
Nice.
But then there will also be like
Yeah.
broad, focus
Make sure
groups
there's
and
younger,
surveys
younger
and.
groups being
Well,
represented.
the San Rafael City Schools, that's kind of our, our youth representative on that committee, but we'll be trying to do kind of like focus groups in schools and get actual youth voices, as well as the neighborhood associations, and there's so many. And then just the community broadly love surveys, we'll do pop-ups, we'll do your standard community meetings, so we're expecting the big push for that will be in the summer. Hopefully we can start it off in the spring, because that's when there's a lot of events we can kind of utilize, but
Are you
see how
starting from
fast we go.
scratch or like from when we originally did all those, like?
we're gonna start from scratch.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think that those are helpful, but one of the things that didn't consider was the floodplain. So that site is in a flood zone. So I think one of the first things we'll need to do is kind of a topographic survey and understand which are the area, just are there areas on there that may be more or less prone, and how high, and all of those things. That's gonna have a huge impact. And then, I think the other piece, we had a lot of work done on the library side of what the community needs are for a library, but we don't have that for the community center. And so we need to do some of that needs assessment on the community center side. I think that plan was a little lacking on that. So, yeah, I think generally some of the conceptual, like moving the building, like its current location is not ideal. And so I think a lot of the findings of that will probably be similar.
Well, I'm just remembering that when we did that, and when I originally thought, and there were all these committee groups, it was like literally like, what is the outside gonna look like? What are the color? Like, I feel like all that work was done for months already. Like, it should be nature and that we have to start all over, seems like, when there was like literally like.
But that process also was really, it had that stakeholder group, but it didn't have any of the broader community engagement. I think there was a very specific need at that time to like, what could a facility look like, right? We had kind of a 3D rendering of this site, and we didn't have one there. And that did a great job of providing like, what could that look like? What are things that would really resonate with the community? But it was also, I think now that we're actually building the building, we're gonna need to do kind of more of that, right?
More work.
Yep, it is.
It's a different design too. I mean, whole architectural design, right? You're
Yeah.
not gonna use it same way. Right. Wow. Wow. Thank you.
That's all I have.
And then I think the only other thing I had to add was just recognizing Jamie for her 8 years of service on the library. She's gonna be receiving a proclamation of appreciation from City Council on the 2nd. Is that the first
November.
November meeting?
Nice.
November 3rd. November 3rd. So thank you, Jamie. I mean, you have more institutional knowledge than anyone in this room.
I was saying, we were walking up, I was like, I think you're like the fourth director so far, so hopefully you're in for the long haul. Yeah, I'm like the third leadership before that, so, but I'm really excited that you guys are in this phase because it's been so long of talking about this, like, I remember seeing the binders of like, this is what was talked about in the 90s to like do a new library and all these things, so, you know, going back and forward, it felt like a lot like, you know, 10 steps forward, like 5 steps back. So I think, you know, this is approved, it's done. I think it's really exciting. So I'm happy to watch it flourish.
From a distance.
Yeah. I was like, you know.
Let me know when it's built.
But
Are there other interested parties to replace Jamie? Or are there other appointees?
So the library or the city council held interviews on last week. Board member Vadot was reappointed, so his term was up. So he was reappointed for
Right.
another 4 years, and we have a new trustee, Michael Polk, who will be joining at the next meeting, hopefully.
Next meeting.
I'm assuming. I mean, he will be appointed by then, assuming he's available. He will be here.
oh, and Jinder's been there from the start.
I mean, that's always the, if you ask a question, it's always ask gender.
Thank you, Jamie.
Well, thank you. Yes, let that be in the minutes that we thank Jamie. Okay, so do we need to approve the commission? Okay, I guess I can adjourn. The time is 6:53 and there's no other comments or questions. Thank you for showing. Thank you for your patience. Appreciate it.